Listen, Don Jr., our generation has a fundamental misunderstanding of history, a decontextualization, an intergenerational detextualization of history. We pass down history from generation to generation to generation in the form of learning in books. Technology is causing a rift in that. And what's happening is, well, our fundamental morality is being interrupted. Our fundamental understanding of right and wrong has been interrupted. And again, I made a video to you yesterday about how TikTok is the problem. It's Chinese causing people to create pornography. Let me give you an example of how Triller is doing the exact same thing. I was greeted by this morning. Don Jr., you've got to read a book called Amusing Ourselves to Death by NYU prof. Neil Postman. Came out the year I was born, 1985. We've got to reverse this trend of ignorance. This is America's Man's Man, americasmansman.com. And this is an addition for you, Don Jr., because I don't know anyone else who uses this platform, but kind of to add to what I said in that TikTok video. We are our own worst enemy. Our ignorance is our sloth, our intellectual sloth. That's why we don't like Joe Biden. See, your dad, our good president, is a man who is very diligent and he stays on top of everything. That's how he's able to keep on top of, say, the Woolman Rink perps who just didn't want to do their job. And we've got to do our job. There are generational challenges that apply specifically to millennials, specifically the ignorance that has, in large part, been, it's really a deprivation of good education and a deprivation of good rearing on the part of most millennials who, were raised by a television. That's why Kurt Cobain committed suicide. And many others continue to. Of course, those go unreported. Anyway, please read that book, Amusing Ourselves to Death, and I insist upon that, in addition to the good book, of course, because it's really what it is it's a thesis. It's an extended thesis about the book Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, because the Chinese are winning first and foremost in the moral and intellectual realm right now, the soul realm, the subconscious realm, if you will. And that's why they're able to subvert American dignitaries, American FBI agents, to the point where it's become almost a running joke. And we've got to tighten our own house. We've got to remove the log from our own eye before we can remove the splinter from that of our enemies. We're never going to beat the Chinese in the race to, we're winning now, but our lead has been tightened. That's the real race that matters. Yeah, I mean, your dad against Sleepy Joe, who is the transition candidate for the gulag, for all of us carrying stones from one corner of the gulag to another. I mean, that's the race that the fake news media wants to get us to focus upon. Anyway, I'm not doing Amusing Ourselves to Death justice. It was written again by an NYU professor named Neil Postman. Came out the year I was born, 1985. Also, please do, in a secure way, go to the TikTok website, and then I think you'll be able to securely use the VPN. You can check out my TikTok videos with limited concern about being hacked by the Chinese. If you go to TikTok.com, I am America's Man's Man on TikTok and in reality and in real life. AmericasMansMan.com is where you can learn more about me. Let's do like Michael Phelps, not the pot smoking part, but let's do like Michael Phelps, and winners focus on winning, losers focus on everybody else. Let's win, Mr. Donald Trump Jr. This is AmericasMansMan.com.